Good day, everyone. Today we're going to learn about something that you probably use almost every day, productivity tools. So whenever you type an assignment, create a presentation, calculate something using a spreadsheet, or save a file online, you are already using productivity tools. But knowing how to use technology is not enough. So we also need to know how to protect ourselves, our files, and our personal information. So today, we will talk about productivity tools and computer security practices. At the end of our lesson, you should be able to first explain what productivity tools are. Second, identify different productivity applications and their purposes. And third, enumerate common computer security practices. And as we go through the lesson, think about the applications that you already use at home or in school. Before we begin, I have a question for you, class. What tasks do you usually do using a computer? Do you use it to type assignments? How about making presentations? Or maybe you use a computer to watch educational videos and send messages, or even organizing information or save your school projects. Think of at least three things that you have done using a computer. All right, so computers allow us to perform many tasks, but we need different applications to accomplish those tasks. Many of those applications are called productivity tools. So what exactly are productivity tools, class? Productivity tools are software applications that help people create, organize, manage, communicate, and complete tasks efficiently. The key word here is productivity. When we say productivity, we are talking about accomplishing tasks effectively and efficiently. For example, instead of writing a long report by hand, we can use a word processor or for you to type, edit, format, or even print it. So technology help us work faster and more efficiently. So why do you think productivity tools are important? So productivity tools can help us first save time. You can complete tasks faster and keep information structured and easy, right? Number two, organize information. You can also create documents. You can also perform calculations, communicate with others, collaborate with classmates. Okay, you produce documents, the presentations, and work together with others efficiently. And present information clearly. Imagine calculating the grades of 100 students manually. Do you think it's easy for us teachers? Of course not, right? That could take a long time. But we, with the use of spreadsheet software, calculations can be performed much faster. So that is one of the example of how productivity tools make our work easier. There are many different types of productivity tools. Some of the most common are word processing, spreadsheets, presentation software, database, email, cloud storage, calendar or scheduling tools, and note-taking applications. So each application has a particular purpose, and this means that we need to choose the right tool for the right task. Okay? Now let's move on. So let's begin with word processing software. I am sure that you're familiar with this. So when you say word processing or a word processor, okay, it allows us to create, edit, format, save, and print text-based documents. Some examples are the Microsoft Word and Google Docs. So what can we create using a word processor? We can create letters, we can create essays, reports, resumes, school projects, and many other documents. So here's a question. If your teacher asked you to write a 3-page book report, what type of productivity tool would you use? Correct, a word processor. So next, spreadsheet. Next is we have the spreadsheet software. Examples include Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets. Spreadsheet organize information using rows and columns. Who among you here were able to manipulate it? For sure, you have it when you were in elementary. So they are especially useful when working with numbers. For example, we can use spreadsheets to calculate grades, expenses, budgets, attendance, and other numerical information. We can also create charts and graphs. So if you want to calculate the average of your grades, which application would be appropriate? That is right, a spreadsheet application. Very good. Next, the next productivity tool is presentation software. Examples include Microsoft PowerPoint and Google Slides. Presentation software helps us communicate information through slides. We can include text, pictures, shapes, charts, audio, video, and animations. For example, if your science teacher asks you to present your research project in front of the class, presentation software would be an appropriate tool. Other productivity tools? Oh, let's move on. Aside from the word processors, spreadsheets, and presentation software, we have other productivity tools. A database helps store and organize a large amount of related information. We also have email. Email allows us to send and receive electronic messages. Cloud storage allow us to save files online and access them from different devices. Calendar applications is also one. It helps us organize schedules, appointments, and reminders. And the last one we have here, the note-taking applications, helps us record and organize our ideas and take notes. So remember, each tool has a different purpose. Okay, next move. Activity. Yes, now let's see if you can identify the correct productivity tools. So, get your notebook in computer. All right? So I will give you a situation and you tell me which tool you would use. Okay, answer it in your notebook first. Okay, number 1. You need to write a book report. What could you use? Number 2, you need to calculate your monthly expenses. Number 3, you need to present your science project to your classmates. Number 4, you need to send an assignment electronically to your teacher. Number 5, You want to save your project online so that you can access it to another device. Okay, let's check your work. So the answer is number 1. In number 1, you would use word processing software. Number 2, spreadsheet software. Number 3, presentation software. Number 4, email or your school's approved learning platform. Number 5 is cloud storage. Very good. Excellent. Grade 7. So let's proceed. So what is computer security? Now that we already know how productivity tools help us accomplish tasks, we need to talk about something equally important, like the computer security. So computer security means protecting computers, accounts, networks, and information from unauthorized access, damage, theft, or misuse. So think about your house, class. Do you leave your front door open when nobody is home? Of course not, right? You lock the door because you want to protect the things inside. So computer security works in a similar way. We use security practices to protect our digital information. So, why is computer security important? Our device may contain personal information such as our names, our photos, school files, email messages, online accounts, and passwords. So if we are careless online, someone may gain access to information that should remain private. So that's why everyone who uses technology should practice good computer security. Okay? So I'm sure you're aware of that. Next. So here are some important computer security or security practices. First is use strong and unique passwords or passphrases. So for you not to forget it, so make sure that you use a phrase. For example, I am beautiful. So you just do it that way. But with a combination of letters, numbers, and some special characters. So next, keep trusted software updated. Okay. You also have keep your password private, use appropriate security software, and be careful with suspicious links and attachments. You visit trusted websites, download files carefully, back up important files, sign out when using shared computers, and protect your personal information. So these practices may seem simple, but they can make a big difference in keeping you safe online. So let's talk about passwords. Which do you think is safer? A password such as 123456? Or a long unique password or passphrase that is difficult to guess? Of course, the second one is safer, right? So avoid using obvious passwords such as your name, birthday, or the word password. For important accounts, use passwords that are long, unique, and difficult to guess. Importantly, do not casually share your password with your friends or classmates. Your password is like the key to your account, so protect it, okay? So here's an easy rule that I want you to remember whenever you're online. Stop, think, check, click. So first, stop. Don't immediately click a link. Second, think. Ask yourself, does this message make sense? Was I expecting it? Third, check. Check who sent the message and where the link appears to lead. And finally, click. Click only when you have good reason to believe that is safe. Again, stop, think, check, and click. All right? So that's the things to remember. Now, imagine that this message suddenly appears on your screen. Congratulations! You won a free iPhone. Click here below. Would you click it? Of course, no. You should be suspicious. Ask yourself, did I enter a contest? Do I know who sent this? Why they're asking me to click immediately? Message that create excitement, fear, or urgency may trying to convince you to act without thinking. You always remember the rule. Stop, think, check, and click. So, are we good? Now, the last one is safe or unsafe. So let's play safe or unsafe. If you think the action is safe, you say safe. If you think it is unsafe, you say unsafe. Are you ready? All right. Using a strong and unique password, safe or unsafe? Very good. The answer is safe. Number 2, giving your password to a classmate. Very good. Unsafe. Number 3, clicking a link from a known sender. Correct. Unsafe. Number 4, signing out after using a shared computer. Safe. Number 5, installing trusted security updates. Safe. Correct. Downloading a game from a known website. Unsafe. Correct. Next, backing up an important school project. Safe. Excellent. Grade 7. So next, we have here the next slide. Let's review our productivity tools. Okay, productivity applications. I'll mention a task and you tell me the correct tool. Okay, so write a document. What tool are you going to use? Word processor, correct. Number 2, calculate and organize numerical data. Spreadsheet, correct. Number 3, present information using slides. Presentation software, correct. Send an electronic email. The answer is email, correct. Store files online. The answer is cloud storage. Very good. Always remember, class, use the right tool for the right task. Okay? So, we're almost done. So, it's time to check what you have learned. So, get your notebook and answer the following. So, read each question carefully before choosing your answer. So remember the 2 major parts of today's lesson, productivity tools and computer security practices. So when answering, don't just memorize the example. Think about the purpose. So for the computer security questions, ask yourself, is this action protecting my account or information? So let's see how much you remember, okay? So for the exit ticket, before we end our lesson, answer these 4 questions. What is a productivity tool? Name 3 productivity applications. Give 3 computer security practices. And finally, what computer security practice from today's lesson do you think is the most important for you to do or to remember? So write your answers clearly and briefly in your computer notebook. So before we finish, remember these 2 important ideas from our lesson. First, use the right tool for the right task. The word processor helps us to create documents. Spreadsheets help us to organize and calculate data. Presentation software helps us present information, and other productivity applications help us communicate, organize, and collaborate. Second, when using computers and the internet, stop, think, check, and click. So today is a powerful tool. Technology is a powerful tool, but we must learn to use it responsibly and safely. So always remember, be productive, be smart, be safe online. So that concludes our lesson on productivity tools and computer security practices. Thank you, everyone, and great job today, grade 7. See you next meeting.